Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the latest This is the Music Meets podcast, an independent podcast show that shines a light on rising artists from the new music scene across the UK and Ireland. If you're new to the podcast, then please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any future episodes, and feel free to leave a comment as it really does help us beat those Spotify and YouTube algorithms. It's now time for episode 99. And I'm delighted that rising alternative rockers Quaint, a four-piece from the East End of Glasgow, are today's guests. So it's a warm welcome to Kyle, Lewis, Leo, and Lewis to the This Is the Music Meets podcast. Lads, thanks very much for coming on tonight. It's obviously Sunday evening, so appreciate that little bit more than maybe in usual. Thanks for coming on. How you all doing?
Thanks for having us. Aye, good man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's unfortunately been a bit of a mad day today. Been busy with me day job, unfortunately, having to work at the weekend. But yeah, I think that's mostly out of the way, and keep on grafting on, as they say.
Definitely.
So we've obviously got quite a lot to get through, really, in terms of new music releases from like last year, and sort of looking ahead as well to your hopes for and ambitions for 2024.
Right.
But before we do, let's go back right to the very, very beginning, before that you guys had even started the band. So kind of like then, who were your musical influences growing up? Maybe those people that sort of got you into music.
Yes, start with Finn. Aye, Finn. Well, if I'm going like properly right back, I think it was No Gallagher's High Flying Birds.
Yeah.
My dad showed me that album and just listened to it on repeat, and then kind of lockdown, I get into Oasis, and then I started kind of watching the live gigs, and I seen Noel standing there playing his guitar, and I went, I want to do that. So
Easy stuff,
just kind of
man.
went for there, and then
Nirvana. Quite big on
uh,
Nirvana.
massive when
Aye,
I
don't get this boy started on Nirvana. Aye. Um, for me, I think it was in terms of the sort of music that I listen to now. Kind of started with listening to Arctic Monkeys. But
Yeah.
when I was young, my brother had like definitely maybe on CDs. So that was played in the motor a lot when I was young. But I never really got into Oasis properly until later on. But in terms of that sort of music, Arctic Monkeys, like I heard Fluorescent Adolescent and In-Betweeners. That was actually how I started. Yeah.
That's a great album, that is. I love that.
No,
I actually
genuinely,
never got into like
genuinely,
That's
aye.
unbelievable. I didn't even know that.
But and for the next year and a half, it was literally all I listened to. So, and then obviously I started branching out, kind of Stone Roses,
Mm.
eventually Pink Floyd. So I'd say Arctic Monkeys were definitely a massive influence to the kind of music that I listen to now, definitely.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I think one of the first bands that I like properly got into was the Killers.
uh,
Actually, that first album, I think my mom showed me
Yeah.
or something. I was
Yeah.
like, thought it was brilliant. Like I said, then started listening to Oasis, and that my dad introduced me to them, and then just moves on from there, doesn't
Pretty
it?
common theme throughout this band.
Yeah. There is, yeah.
I'm pretty much the same. I mean, I started out. Well, actually, the first band that I ever got into was when I started playing guitar was U2. U2 was a massive band for me, man. And then it was obviously Oasis.
Mm.
But I think the biggest band that influenced me musically, I think, was the Smiths,
aye.
Johnny Marr, so that sort of stuff, and everything that came with that, Stone Roses, Joy Division, all that sort of Manchester.
Big fan of Fergie, aren't you?
Fergie. Oh,
Massive fan of
Listen,
Fergie.
that's
Isn't
always
it?
the
Even though I'm a Man City supporter.
Fergalicious.
So yeah, it sounds like then you've got fairly similar interest in terms of like the indie sort of rock and roll type, sort of scene type of thing. So in
I have,
terms of then the band getting together, how did it start? Did you all know each other, like through school or something before you all got together? What's the story there?
Me and Leo went to school with each
Right,
other.
then,
Growing up in Ridley in the East End, and we knew Lewis. He didn't go to school with us, but he stayed a bit round us. So, and
Yeah.
then Leo actually stayed there as well, but we didn't meet him till later on. And then we were practicing in the studio for a wee while, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And then a boy that I worked with, Ace, was telling me about his pal Kyle who plays guitar, so we got him involved, and then it just spiraled from there. To be honest, man, it's that's when it kind of stepped up a level. Not to blow smoke up there. Not your
So is that when Carl, when you joined the band, then is that when the name Quaint came, or was that already in place?
That was Lewis.
Kyle joined the band, and we were still. It took us maybe a month to get a name. We
were struggling with it because it's a difficult thing, because it's going to be something that you're defined by in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to,
we had so many we went through. Like, it took us hours to decide.
Fences, I think, was one of them.
We went through some dark pits, man, trying to figure out what the name was.
I just found something to go. I went, fuck it, I'll do.
Stuck, yeah.
Yeah, and does it like mean anything at all for you? Is it literally just something that you just liked, basically just like the sound of?
Quite pretentious, but I think it was a definition of the word on it. It was like, what was it again?
Different from the ordinary.
Aye, something to do with being quite different from the ordinary, which was we're trying to kind of be about. It sounds quite wanky, but that's the honest answer. So it's aye.
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess as well, if you think, like bands in history, there's not many that have been called Q, beginning with Q either, right? So I guess, that's a pretty unique sort of selling point as well, right? So yeah, why not?
Exactly. Definitely, man.
So you've obviously put out 2 singles so far. Let's concentrate first of all on the debut single, which was called Reflections. That's just gone past 4,000 Spotify streams. That came out in September 2023. Fantastic single. So what I would like to know is, what was the writing and the recording process like for the song?
It was Fenton's riff.
I think came with the riff, and we just kind of.
It was instantly. The first time we heard it, was just playing in the Wings there again, and I think that's how you've got a catchy tune. See, when you just kind of get it out your head. So
yeah.
I think I was. I can't remember what I was trying to play. I think I was trying to play Everlong, because for the offender it's listening to those guitars. I was playing the kind of F sharp chord at the start of that.
It's quite similar. Aye.
That chord, and I was then dropped the tune, and I just kind of messed about with it, and it came from there. And I showed Jules, and he was like, aye.
But as soon as we heard it, we just knew it was going to be definitely. And when we started getting our first gigs playing it live and that, it was always getting quite a good response. It's quite a bouncy tune compared to a lot of our other ones. So it's ideal to get a crowd going. We usually start after that gig, so it's ideal.
Yeah, definitely. And something as well that I think was is quite unique actually in many ways is, obviously you included a B-side, which is called Insincere. So what was kind of like then the thought process for doing that? Because you look at a lot of bands now, and they don't do that. They literally, put one single out. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. But you guys have sort of gone against the norm, I guess, so to speak.
I think we wanted to get more than one song at a time, because any time we were playing gigs, it was everybody was coming up to us saying, "Oh, when are you going to get stuff out, this and that." We think the 2 songs in particular complement each other quite well. I think because one bouncy, one slows it down. So we thought that they went well together. And as you said, it's not something a lot of bands do, so maybe kind of gave it a wee something it's a bit different. You know what I mean? So
plus, like talking about like Oasis and things like that, some of their most successful songs were B-sides. And for me, I thought, why can't we be like that?
You know what I mean? Definitely.
So.
Yeah, no, definitely, and obviously then leading on to December, obviously of clearly of last year, which was my personal introduction into Quaint. It's called Trip Inside. It's just gone past 14,000 Spotify streams, which to me is blown my mind when I was looking into this, because the song come out just over 6 weeks ago. So I mean, when you released that song, did you ever have any ambitions, or anything, or did you ever hope that it would be, as well received as what it has been?
Yeah, we knew it was definitely the strongest in the set that we had at the time. In terms of the response for the crowd, we used to always finish with it, and it was always that solo at the end was always a big thing. we knew it was definitely one of the stronger songs, if not the strongest that we had. So did we think that it would do the numbers that it done compared to Reflections? Probably no, but it's took us by surprise. But well,
Good surprise,
aye, wasn't it, man? Definitely.
Yeah. And have you got any, with that particular song, is there any sort of, like meaning, sort of any message at all that you're trying to portray in the lyrics?
It was Kyle that wrote it, so.
Well, I don't really know, because if I'm being honest with you, right, I wrote it a good couple of years ago, but I actually remember nothing about writing it. So. But it's I think it's just one of those tunes that kind of just falls from the sky. Do you know what I mean?
The Velvet Sky, I feel like.
Shut up. I can't believe you just said that.
Sorry.
One of them. People can make their own decisions.
That's the way I like to think of it. Like, songs can be subjective, you know what I mean? People take what they want from it, and I don't want to define it by any one thing. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, sure. And kind of like then on sort of for all of you really, I guess, do you have like a set sound, when you're writing the song, do you have something that this is how the song's going to sound no matter what? Or, you're quite happy for, everyone to sort of, chip in their own ideas, you're saying there about coming up with like different guitar riffs and stuff like that. Is it sort of I guess like a democracy rather than a dictatorship?
It's definitely a democracy, but there's never really a set place where we want the tunes to go. It just kind of flows that way. Do you know what I mean? It's I think with this song Trip Inside, it's definitely a particular sound, and we're trying to take majority elements for that along the mix of some other stuff as well. Because I think if we were to continually do that, then it's the Oasis comparisons or things. Do you know what I mean? But which we don't mind. We enjoy it. Obviously, people want to compare us to a band like Oasis, but we're trying to
create your own
keep our own sound and identity in a way. And I think Trip Inside is slowly compared to that Insincere in a way. It's slowly but surely gone in the right direction for us. So
yeah, sure. And on the sound, if I was to ask you to describe Quaint sound in 3 words, what words would you use to describe it?
Loud,
big,
loud,
big, good.
It's intricate work, man. We put a lot of shit into those songs, man. It's
How many times have you rehearsed the Trip Inside, especially?
I've never got sick of hearing that song.
I know.
It's one of those songs I've never tired of. Reflections gets on my fucking tits, man.
We're not sick of it.
It's a great song, man. Let's just get man. I'm sorry. I mean, I wrote the lyrics, but it still gets on my tits.
So do you think then that you'll, maybe like as you're going through on releasing music and stuff, do you think that your sound would, evolve, or do you think that you'd end up, kind of like sticking with, the releases that you've done so far? Because they are, they're fantastic songs, as I've said, but they're sort of, got that rock and roll, upbeat, as you described earlier, the live shows that they go off. So is that kind of like what you're continuously looking to try and write and release, or do you think you might, maybe go down another road later on?
Definitely want to keep that loud element to it, but I think it's natural for a band as they continue to kind of branch out to different things. But we definitely want that. We want songs that are going to get crowds going.
Because
it doesn't matter what direction we go in, as long as crowds are happy with what we're playing, then that's what it's all about for us, man.
But what I will say is, because I think it's fair to say I'm the main writer in the band. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm writing, I don't write thinking, what an audience will think or whatever. I just can't. I'll pitch it to you guys, and then you'll be like that. Yeah. I'm like, you add your own things to it, obviously, in that, because I think if you're writing for an audience, you can overthink it quite a bit. Because we've got a couple of slower songs that we've been writing and things like that. Which the crowd have quite liked as well. Do you know what I mean? Because a bit of change of direction is good.
I think it's early enough that we've no set a specific sound yet, so we can branch out into whatever we want. Definitely.
Seeing what works. Because I think we're doing because like songs we're all happy with. I think that's what we go with half the time.
definitely.
I think a lot of the process as well is you'll do a wee acoustic demo in your room and send it to me.
Yeah.
And I just start getting all these mad ideas with the electric guitar.
Exactly.
We take into the studio.
We all put our own thing into it.
I think it's because we're actively making music that we enjoy listening to. Like if that was any other band making these sort of songs, I would listen to it as well. So that helps.
That's what I'm saying. We're not writing music necessarily for the audience. We're writing it for us.
Aye, definitely. That's good.
Aye.
Yeah, do you think then that's quite important then to be writing music for yourselves, like for you as a band, rather than someone like me? Yeah.
Aye, because if you're trying to play up to something, then
it can become quite dangerous.
Aye, if you're not, I think it's very authentic writing music that you would listen to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not being influenced by anybody else. I mean, obviously influenced by other bands, but in terms of like crowds or whatever, you're not really being influenced to play a certain way or a certain style. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah. Sure. So obviously, as we mentioned before actually we started the podcast, I should say, we were talking about briefly. You've got a gig. I think it's the first one of this year. You're playing at the Glasgow Attic. It's Friday, the 9th of February. You're supporting Bandit as part of their UK tour. So, firstly, I'm assuming that you guys are in rehearsals. So how are they going? And secondly, as well, for those people that have already got a ticket to the gig, why should they come down early and catch Quaint live?
Yeah, in terms of how the rehearsals are going, they're
quite good, man.
Very good. We've got a set list that I think strong that we're gonna go with. So, in terms of
things in there as well.
In terms of why people should go and see us, I mean, tickets are £12, and the way I look at it, it's £12 for an experience you'll never forget. So exactly. I can't ask for any better than that, to be honest.
I love that. And have you got for maybe people that have seen you before? Is there going to be any surprises in your set? Maybe like a new tunes or anything like that. Maybe.
We always aim to get a new tune.
Aye, we've got a new song. Every gig, we try and get a new song, and just to keep it fresh. You know what I mean? People don't. There's a lot of bands that just play the same set every single gig, and people lose interest because it's like the same old stuff. You know what I mean? But we keep the crowd favourites in, and the ones that they maybe don't like so much, and we maybe change it up. Do you know what I mean? But
there's always a cover in there as well.
Aye, usually
a bit of familiarity in there as well.
We're going to name drop this one. I'll just leave it there.
People can come and see it, man.
If you want to find it, I'll have to
We'll sell it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, I'm a massive advocate for people getting down there for seeing, the support bands. I think, you can get to see some, unhidden gems, and yeah, it sounds like you've sold it anyway. To be honest, you don't need me to be waffling on about why they should come down and see you live.
The other bands are good as well. Bandit,
of course, man.
The Latitude as well. They've got a lot of great songs themselves. So it should be a good night, man. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it does. It does look an incredible lineup, I have to say. And yeah, obviously, good luck for you for your set. But have you got any other plans, for playing live this year, or is it still?
We've got a few gigs in the box. We've got a gig in Audio, March 31st, in Glasgow, and our first gig outside of Glasgow's in the box as well, Edinburgh, hopefully. So
yeah.
Keep an eye on the socials, and we'll see the details of that one sooner, I'm sure.
And what about festivals? Are you looking? Have you applied? Have you heard anything back yet on that? Or
no, I applied for a few, but
just waiting to get back. Really,
but we're definitely going to stage in it. It's just putting the feelers out and seeing what the response is like. So we'll get 8 expectations with that, which is good, because it means that there's no disappointment if it doesn't go your way. So it's handy at this stage.
We're just definitely going to try.
Aye, 100%. Just keep pushing it, and that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, and would there be any particular festival that would be like like a bucket list moment type of thing? One that you're really keen to be playing.
I mean, all the big ones, man. Like, I just wish Dean Park was still kicking a bit, to be honest.
I do that.
But I'd take Glastonbury, I suppose. Not if it was.
If you can fit it in the schedule, yeah.
Transmit, yeah, that'd be a great one for us.
For Sunday for DF listening, get us on the
go. Absolutely, yeah. Let's see if we can make that happen for you guys. So, as you know, here at This Is The Music, we like to shine a light on rising bands like Quaint, who are obviously trying to get themselves established on the new music scene. So kind of like over the last sort of 12 months or so, what bands or maybe a solo artist have you guys been listening to that have caught your eye?
In terms of up and coming.
Yeah, up and coming bands. Yeah.
There's a band that we know personally, the Sankaras, who are really good.
Definitely.
Massive shout out to them.
They've got kind of classic rock.
It's sort of like it's a mix of Led Zeppelin with a kind of modern twist. Is that what I feel like?
They're great live as well. They were great live.
It's just really good live.
We went to go see them
recently in King Tut's. They were playing.
They put on a great show.
Massive shout out.
Another one for me as well, Pasto from
Yeah.
just they're a great band. I really like their sound.
Aye.
Trying to think of else.
There's another band in Glasgow called Strayed.
Strayed.
Right. Yeah.
Aye. Obviously, all the bands we played are massive and brilliant and massive respect to them. But aye, just
couple of favourites.
Something we enjoy.
Sankara's definitely one for me that I'm massive into. But I mean, the Glasgow music scene as a whole, man, I'm just
there's a lot in it, man.
There's so much going on. Do you know what I mean? Gigs every single weekend.
But there is everywhere else as well, because
aye.
We hear lots of bands from different cities around the UK and things like that, and they're doing really big. They're doing great things for themselves.
Yeah.
Bandit, of course. Yeah.
Come on. So.
It is it's a very, very exciting time, I think, for British guitar music at the minute, and hopefully there'll be a few more bands like this year sort of breaking through into the mainstream, and hopefully there won't be any cheating going on, as we've seen over the weekend with a certain band and record company. I won't say who they are in case I get sued or something like that, but but obviously we're going to throw some quick fire questions at you now. So the first one is, what would be the one item that you couldn't live without?
We'll start with Fenton. We'll go left to right.
My guitar.
Aye.
Still my answer.
1 million aftershave.
I'm going to be basic, man. My phone, probably.
Yeah.
Was that Kyle?
My Smith's final.
Oh.
But no, exactly. Record player, so that doesn't actually make sense.
I don't know how you're going to listen to it, but yeah. If you could only listen to 3 albums for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Aye, right. Dark Side of the Moon, definitely.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
Oh, Dark Side of the Moon, Hamburg, the Arctic Monkeys, and definitely maybe.
Yeah.
Nice, great choices.
Dark Side of the Moon as well. I think it's just unbelievable, man. Just I think the first time you hear that, it's just mental, which is oversaid the fuck, but I'm saying it anyway. So Dark Side of the Moon, I'd say probably the Monkeys debut. But other people say I'm, that's what I'm not, definitely. And then probably Stone Roses debut.
Oh,
I'd say
nice. Loving that.
Listen to that. So
Mine would probably be Favourite Worst Nightmare by the Arctic Monkeys. Then Hot Fuzz by the Killers.
Yeah.
And then there's an album, Cave World, by a band called Viagra Boys.
Yeah.
Really
And you've mentioned them.
Yeah.
I think I picked Animals by Pink Floyd. No, it's like a pure out there answer.
Yeah.
No one's gonna pick that. But
maybe sell that animal.
Who's
Pink Floyd?
The Master Plan by Oasis. And The Queen is Dead by Smith, because I've already got that. So.
Nice, fantastic choices there. So the next question is, you're allowed to see one final song from your favourite artist in your favourite venue. Who are you choosing?
Name a venue. What are you saying for? Can it be current artist or can it be from just anything?
Yeah, absolutely anything.
Oh, right.
Oh Christ, man.
I've already heard it live, but I'd probably like to say Sheep by Pink Floyd, probably at no, see the dome. What's it called?
The Brighton Dome.
Is it the Sphere or something? It's not a Sphere.
Oh, the Sphere. Oh, in Vegas,
I've seen probably Sheep.
Yeah.
Aye, I'll go with. I'd probably say A Certain Romance in the Barras because it's
nice.
best venue in Glasgow, 100%. I reckon, 100%.
Mine would be Slideaway, also in the Barras, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think mine would be I Want to Be Adored at the Empress Ballroom, Blackpool.
Wow, nice. Well, that's quite a diverse,
No,
venue
because I
there. I'm
actually did it.
liking that.
You know what I mean, and it looked amazing. So
Okay, so this is probably a bit of a tough one as well, to be fair. But if you could have written any song in history, what would you have chosen?
You reckon, Quaint?
Could go generic and like say the one that's made the most money, but
One bubble.
Small Dog Teen Spirit.
yeah. Probably Money by Pink Floyd. I love that tune, man.
Fair play.
I had one in my head there and it's pure about it. What was I going to say? Come back to me, Leo.
I'm going to say
Completely.
Happiness Is a Long Gun by the Beatles.
Oh, good pick,
Oh,
man.
Nice. Liking that.
It's tough. I think I'd have to say There Is a Light That Never Goes Out.
Yeah.
Nice. Classic.
I'd probably say,
Strong the Fields or something.
nah, I'll probably say A Certain Romance again. See lyrically, in terms of just how they speak about their environment and going on
Yeah.
night shoot and all that. Obviously, that's a theme in the first album in general, but I like specifically A Certain Romance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sure. Okay. So if what I'd like to know is what band member is always late, be it for band rehearsals, band socials, gigs, and is there
Okay.
any particular reason why?
Definitely Lewis Fenton, 100%. The reason being, this boy probably sleeps for like 9 in the morning to 7 at night.
As you did today.
It's the strangest sleeping pattern I've ever experienced. but his guitar work makes up for it, so we'll let him away with it. Let him away with it.
Brilliant, great stuff. So obviously we've spoken a little bit about the plans for 2024 in terms of what you've got coming up with the live shows and stuff in the early part of the year. But what other plans are in place for Quaint for 2024?
Just probably next single release. We're hoping ideally to get the next single out about May time. May early June, ideally. So
Keep your eyes peeled.
Maybe even April if we're
just depends when we get the money for it, man.
That's always the way, isn't it? I think that's the thing that people don't necessarily realise how much money and it takes to actually just get one song recorded. You know what I mean? It's a lot of effort.
But so hopefully single by May, maybe one or two more singles for the end of the year. Hopefully a wee EP. I reckon.
We'll see how it goes.
Just ideally, but we'll see what happens.
We'll play it by ear, man.
Definitely. Just
if it keeps going the way it's going, though, hopefully that's the dream, man.
Especially when you've
just need to
fucking a couple of labels sniffing about the names.
Never know, mate. Never know.
Brilliant, great stuff. Well, look, Kyle, Lewis, Leo, and Lewis. Unfortunately, that is the end of the This Is the Music Meets podcast. Thanks very much to all four of you for coming on. It's been really, really enjoyable, and it's been great getting to know the Quaint story so far. But just before I do let you go, can you let the This Is the Music listeners know the social media platforms that they can find you on?
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, at Quaint Band for every one of them. All the details will be there. So.
Brilliant, great stuff. Well, we'll put them links all up in the episode bio, along as well with the link to the latest single "Trip Inside," which is obviously out now on all streaming and download platforms. Look, lads, I really, really have enjoyed the two singles that you've put out so far, just from a personal perspective. And I think, as we've discussed on this podcast, that clearly there's a lot of love for you. And I've got everything, be watching from down here in Essex to see how you keep going. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how it all goes for you.
Thanks
for having us on.
Big things to come.
Definitely.
And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for tuning in to the latest This Is the Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any future episodes. And if you're loving the podcast, please show us some love by leaving a 5-star rating and written review, as it really does help the bands and artists we interview to be discovered. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you very soon for the next episode of the This Is the Music Meets podcast.